Hey, welcome back to Inside the Vandals with Dion Watson, tight end for the Vandals. Had a nice game this past weekend in the win over Troy, and our own Meredith Coba had a chance to catch up with Dion during the bye week.
I'm here with junior tight end Dion Watson. Dion, you came in as a wide receiver and you transitioned into a tight end. Tell me what that was like for you.
It was a smooth transition, actually. You know, I felt like I had a better chance at tight end going against linebackers and safeties, and I feel like I proved myself throughout the year.
Awesome. And you know, why'd you choose Idaho? It sounds like you kind of might have a family background here.
Yeah, it was close to home. My dad knew a little bit about the university. A lot of people in Coeur d'Alene support Idaho, so that was a big factor for me when I came here.
Right. And rumor has it, you know, you could be a two-sport athlete. You grew up playing basketball, and your dad played here. What was the decision like where you decided to play football?
It was one of those decisions where when I came in, I wanted to commit 100%, and I did. And now that I'm on my last year, you know, I'm starting to think maybe I could play basketball, but right now in the season, it's all about football.
Right. So, Dion, tell me something that someone may not know about you.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one on the spot. I don't know. I listen to a lot of classical music when I study.
Okay.
I don't know if that's abnormal at all, but
That works.
yeah, I listen to a little bit of classical music. I
Okay.
like
Okay. And what does a day look like where you might not have football practice or a game?
most likely hanging out with my teammates, playing 2K, or just eating. I like to eat a lot of food, so that too.
All right. And one last question, Dion. Speaking of food, what is your favorite place to eat in Moscow?
Ooh, right now I'd have to say Red Bento, just off of portion size. I'm a big teriyaki beef fan with the egg roll combo.
A lot of food.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dion. I'm Meredith Coba. Back to you, Tom.
Hey, back here with Vandals head coach Paul Petrino. Coach, piece by Meredith Coba there, nice on Dion Watson. How big was he? Had some big plays in the game.
He was really big. You know, it hurt us for a couple of weeks. Dion played really well the first two games of the year, and then he hurt his ankle pretty bad in the USC game, and this was the first game he was back full speed. You know, you could see it during the bye week that he got his speed back and made a couple crucial third down catches for us and made a couple big plays when Matt was moving in the pocket. That's kind of one thing Dion is real special is when the quarterback scrambles, he always does a great job of getting himself open. You know, he's kind of we're playing him both at tight end and receiver now, and he's helping us both ways. But Dion played a huge role in us winning that game.
Obviously his skill set there, but what else does he bring to the table just as far as his mentality, what he brings?
You know, he's a third-year starter, so I think in the crucial parts of the game, you know, that 14-play drive we were talking about earlier, he caught a huge third down on that drive, you know, and that was kind of Matt to him. That's two guys that have played together for 2 years, and Dion's been a 3-year starter, and so just his confidence and his belief in himself in those crucial situations really helped.
And then obviously before he's a receiver, you kind of been playing him some at tight end. What's the story with that change? And it kind of seems to go back and forth a bit with him.
Well, we need him at both right now. You know, we just don't have many bodies left. So he has to play receiver some for us now too, just because of the injuries that we've had and guys that have been out. And there's just certain things he does really well outside, so I want to make sure we use him there too.
This win over Troy, and we'll talk about Louisiana-Monroe in just a moment here, but how much just as a program how much momentum does this give you?
Oh, a lot. You know, I think it just shows to everybody else how much we've came, how far we've came, how much tougher our players are, and that's if there's ever a true test of mental toughness and how our players know how to grind and how they know how to work. You know, there's no bigger test than what they went through in that. You know, we went down there, and, you know, Oklahoma was getting a lot of pub, but they had an 8-hour delay. But they were big favorites in their game. You know, we were 12-point underdogs, and we went through all that and went down there and won the game, found a way to win. So I just think it's a great, you know, just shows you how tough our players are now.
Back at home for homecoming, you guys are in the middle of a 5-game stretch that features just one home game, and this is it right here. How important is this game just kind of in the middle of that picture?
It's big, you know, and homecoming's been, we've been successful 2 homecomings in a row. We've won them both, and so want to make it 3 in a row. Monroe's a very talented team. They've played a tough schedule. They've played Georgia and Alabama and Georgia Southern, Appalachian State. They've played a lot of tough teams. I think Coach Berry's a great coach. So they're going to come in here. They got a lot of talent, but I think we're going to take that momentum from that last win. And as much as anything, the more you win and you start putting those wins together, your kids believe they're going to win. And I think the whole time our players believe they're going to win that Troy game, and they weren't going to leave that field without a win. And we got to make sure we do that here on homecoming.
What does Louisiana-Monroe bring to the table, X's and O's? What do they do?
Defensively, they're kind of, I don't know what you call it. They do a little bit of everything. They really try to confuse the quarterback. They do a lot of unorthodox things. They press you all the time. It's a little bit of what when we played San Diego State last year. It's kind of where their defense originated, is from Rocky Long. Their coaches have learned it from him. So it's just a little bit of everything. So we got to do a great job of studying this week. Our quarterbacks and our offensive line really need to understand what's going on. Offensively, they really try to spread you out and get their playmakers the ball in space.
You mentioned the San Diego State defense. Do you go back and really study that tape from last year at all?
You do some, and then you study what we did against them last year. Now they do have a new guy. It's still the same defense, but they have a new guy calling it from last year. So their coordinator moved on and got a different job. So it's just a little bit different, but a lot of the things you definitely study.
It was a close game last year between you and Louisiana-Monroe, a game you guys almost got from them at their place. Are you the type of coach that likes to look back and say, hey, they got us last year, it's time for revenge, or you just kind of look forward?
I think you just move forward. I think we're at home. We win this game, we're 500 in the league, so that's enough. There's all kinds of things right now that we can really build on, and all kinds of, for motivation. I think the biggest motivation right now is it's our seniors' last homecoming. I think you always want to send your seniors out winning their last time in the Dome, playing in homecoming. Have a lot of former great players here, so there's all kinds of things that should motivate us, but most importantly to send our seniors to win their last game at home in homecoming, and then to get to be 500 in the league, and that puts you in a great position moving forward.
And final question, Coach, how close is your defense to being healthy? I mean, you're always going to be banged up.
Yeah, we're getting healthier. We just got to keep moving forward. There's some guys that might not make it back. There's some guys but the guys that got on that plane and flew down there and played that game, gave it every last ounce of energy and pride and toughness that they had, and we just got to do that right here on our home field next week.
He's the Vandals head coach, Paul Petrino. Coach, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, coming up next, we check in with a red-hot Vandals soccer team, and we also look at the Vandal volleyball team, which is beginning to put together some wins of their own. We're back here next on Inside the Vandals.